Ladies, especially those of you over 60, have you ever found yourself haunted by a man who's no longer in your life? He doesn't call, doesn't text, doesn't even cross your path anymore. Yet he never leaves your mind. It's strange, isn't it? His presence is invisible, yet it follows you everywhere. In the morning, in laughter, even in quiet moments, he quietly returned to your mind. And when the night settles and you rest your head on the pillow, it's as if his energy hums softly in the background, an echo that refuses to fade. You start to ask yourself why. Why does a man who's gone from your world still live so vividly in your heart? That isn't an accident. It's not just memory or longing. It's something deeper, something the soul recognizes, especially in the later chapters of life when emotions run quieter but deeper. Hi, it's Vernon again. In today's video, I'll share 4 fascinating psychological truths behind why you can't stop thinking about a man who never calls and what it really means about your emotions, not his intentions. Before we begin, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, Vernon After 60, for more elderly wisdom about love, psychology, and emotional healing after 60. So, let's start with the first truth, the one most people mistake for love when it's really something else. It's not love, it's the brain seeking closure. The human mind always makes progress, but it is progress in spirals. Madame de Staël observed. And when someone disappears from your life without explanation, your mind begins spiraling, trying to complete what psychologists call the emotional loop. If a relationship ends abruptly or remains unclear, your mind cannot file it away properly. It's like having an open computer program that keeps running in the background, consuming your mental energy even when you're not actively thinking about it. Neuroscientists call this the Zeigarnik Effect. Our brains are wired to remember incomplete tasks better than completed ones. When someone leaves your life without closure, without explanation, without a clear ending, your mind treats this as an unfinished task that must be resolved. This is why you find yourself replaying conversations, analyzing his last words, wondering what went wrong, imagining what you might have done differently. Your brain isn't being romantic or nostalgic. It's trying to solve an emotional puzzle that has missing pieces. My friend Elaine, who's 61, shared her story with me recently. After her relationship ended abruptly, when the man she'd been seeing for 6 months simply stopped calling, she found herself dreaming about him every night for 3 months. "Vernon," she said, "I didn't understand why I couldn't let go. I didn't even miss him that much when I was awake, but my dreams wouldn't leave him alone." What Elaine was experiencing wasn't lingering love. It was her brain's desperate attempt to create the closure that reality hadn't provided. Her subconscious mind was writing different endings, trying to make sense of what happened, attempting to complete the story. The fascinating part is that once Elaine consciously chose to create her own closure, writing him a letter she never sent, saying goodbye to the relationship in her own mind, the dreams stopped almost immediately. This is why therapists often recommend closure rituals for unresolved relationships. It's not about him coming back to explain himself. It's about giving your brain permission to close the emotional file and move that mental energy elsewhere. Have you ever been stuck in memories even though you knew everything was over? I'd love to hear how you found your way to peace. The key insight here is this. If you're thinking about someone constantly, it doesn't mean you're meant to be together. It means your mind is asking for closure, for completion, for the story to have an ending so it can let go. But sometimes it's not about closure. It's about connection that your soul hasn't learned to release. 2. You're attached to the emotional pattern, not the person. Here's a psychological truth that might surprise you. You're not addicted to him. You're addicted to the emotional cocktail he created in your system. When you think about this man who never calls, pay attention to what emotions arise. Is it hope? Anticipation? A flutter of excitement mixed with anxiety? That combination of emotions triggers dopamine release in your brain, the same neurotransmitter involved in gambling addiction, drug addiction, and yes, emotional addiction. The psychology behind this is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the most powerful conditioning mechanisms known to science. When someone gives you attention unpredictably, sometimes calling, sometimes not, sometimes warm, sometimes distant, your brain becomes trained to crave that next hit of connection. You think you miss him, but what you actually miss is the emotional intensity he created, the anticipation, the wondering, the hope, the brief moments of validation followed by long periods of uncertainty. I learned this lesson the hard way in my own life. In my late 50s, I met a woman who would message me with warmth one week, then disappear the next. Some days she made me feel like I was the only man who mattered. Other days, it was as if I never existed. When I asked myself what I missed most about her, the truth hit me hard. I didn't miss her. I missed how I felt waiting for her. I missed the thrill of seeing her name appear on my phone. I missed feeling chosen, even if it was only sometimes. That's the difference between loving someone and being emotionally addicted to someone. Love grows deeper with consistency and presence. Addiction grows stronger with inconsistency and absence. The most important thing to understand is that this pattern can happen with anyone who creates intermittent reinforcement in your life. It's not about their special qualities or your unique connection. It's about how your brain responds to inconsistent emotional rewards. This is why no contact periods are so effective for getting over someone. When you stop feeding the addiction, stop checking their social media, stop hoping they'll reach out, stop replaying old memories, the dopamine pathways begin to weaken. Share this video with your friends or women's groups. Understanding emotional addiction can free so many of us from patterns that keep us stuck. The liberation comes when you realize that the intensity you're craving isn't love, it's chemical dependency. And like any addiction, the solution isn't getting more of the substance. It's learning to create emotional stability and satisfaction from sources that are reliable and healthy. As Joseph Campbell once said, "The cave you fear to enter
holds the treasure you seek. Sometimes that cave isn't another person, it's your own healing. And when that emotional pattern fades, another truth emerges, one that reveals your real power.
3. Your mind is trying to protect you from future pain. When you can't stop thinking about someone who hurt or confused you, your brain is actually trying to protect you from future emotional pain. Psychologists call this rumination, and while it feels obsessive and unhealthy, it's actually your mind's attempt to study what went wrong so you can avoid similar situations in the future. Think of your brain as a security system that's been triggered. When someone important to you disappears without explanation or treats you inconsistently, your emotional security system goes on high alert. It begins analyzing every detail, every conversation, every interaction, looking for clues you might have missed. This is why you find yourself thinking thoughts like, "What red flags did I ignore? How could I have been so blind? What warning signs should I watch for next time?" Your mind isn't torturing you for entertainment. It's conducting a thorough case study of your own emotional vulnerabilities. It's trying to upgrade your internal security system so you'll be better protected next time. The problem arises when this protective mechanism gets stuck on repeat. Instead of learning the lesson and moving forward, you become trapped in an endless loop of analysis that doesn't actually increase your wisdom, it just increases your anxiety. This is particularly common for women over 60 who have experienced significant losses or betrayals in the past. Our minds become hypervigilant, constantly scanning for potential emotional threats, even in our own memories. The wound is the place where the light enters you, Rumi wisely said. But sometimes we become so focused on studying our wounds that we miss the light trying to enter. The healthy way to work with this protective mechanism is to consciously extract the wisdom your mind is trying to give you, and then deliberately redirect your mental energy toward the present moment. Ask yourself, what has this experience taught me about my needs, my boundaries, my patterns in relationships? Write those insights down. Thank your mind for trying to protect you. Then consciously choose to focus on applying that wisdom to your current life, rather than endlessly replaying the past situation. This transforms rumination from a prison into a classroom. You honor your mind's protective instincts while refusing to let those instincts control your emotional freedom. The most profound realization is that your mind's obsession with someone who's absent is actually evidence of your capacity for deep wisdom, if you choose to extract the lesson rather than replay the pain. But the most powerful truth is this: when you stop chasing the thought, it finally loses its hold. 4. When you reclaim your energy, he fades naturally. Tony Robbins reminds us, energy flows where attention goes. And this final psychological truth is the most empowering of all. The moment you stop feeding your mental energy to someone who's absent from your life, their hold on your mind begins to dissolve naturally. You're essentially sending them your life force, your attention, your emotional power every single day. You're giving them a level of importance and presence in your inner world that they haven't earned through their actions in your outer world. But energy is finite. When you're spending mental and emotional energy on someone who isn't present, you have less energy available for the people, activities, and opportunities that actually are present in your life. The fascinating thing is that most women don't realize they have complete control over this process. You think the thoughts just happen to you, that you're powerless to stop them. But the truth is, every time you notice your mind drifting to someone who never calls, you have a choice. You can follow that thought, or you can redirect your attention. My neighbor Grace, who's 67, shared a profound insight with me. She'd been thinking about a man she met on a cruise for almost a year after they returned to their respective cities, and he never followed up on his promises to stay in touch. Vernon, she told me, the day I stopped replaying his name in my mind was the day peace came back to my life. It wasn't gradual, it was immediate, like turning off a radio that had been playing static for months. Grace discovered what neuroscientists now understand. Our brains are neuroplastic, meaning they can be rewired through conscious practice. Every time you catch yourself thinking about someone and deliberately redirect your attention to something present and positive, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways. The practice is simple but requires consistency. When you notice your mind wandering to someone who's absent, say to yourself, "Thank you for the memory, but I choose to be present now." Then immediately focus on something in your current reality. The feeling of your feet on the ground, the taste of your coffee, a conversation with a friend who actually calls. This isn't about forcing yourself to forget someone or pretending the relationship didn't matter. It's about reclaiming your power to choose where your precious mental energy goes. I encourage you to save this video to watch again whenever you find your mind being held hostage by someone who doesn't deserve that level of real estate in your thoughts. The most beautiful part of this process is that when you stop energetically feeding absent people, you suddenly have so much more energy available for present people and new opportunities. Your life expands instead of contracting around a memory.
If you've stayed with me until this moment, you now see that the reason someone still lives in your thoughts isn't love or fate. It's energy that hasn't yet found peace. When a man never calls but still lives in your mind, it's not destiny, it's your heart asking for healing. Understanding these psychological mechanisms isn't just intellectually interesting, it's emotionally liberating. You're not weak for thinking about someone who doesn't contact you. You're human, with a brain designed to seek completion, learn from experience, and protect you from future harm. But you're also powerful enough to work with these natural tendencies instead of being controlled by them. You can give yourself closure. You can break emotional addiction patterns. You can extract wisdom from painful experiences. And you can consciously choose where to invest your precious mental and emotional energy. To borrow the words of Carl Rogers, the curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. Accept that your mind works this way, but don't accept being trapped by it. Tell me in the comments, what do you think helps you release someone fastest? Time, staying busy, or acceptance? I'd love to hear your wisdom. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit my channel again. There are many more stories and reflections waiting for you about life, love, and growing wiser after 60. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching till now, and see you in the next video.